Okay, so obviously that's a little bit too long. And it did throw out the message and then waited for just a minute. We'll maybe make that 3-second wait. And the only thing that we need to do now is let's just center this same X position as this, so that this is the top message. And try to determine if there's a way to start fading the let's do this. And the restart counter modulus 2 is equal to 0. Let's try that. Saved. That should get their attention pretty good, I think. Might do one more thing. So I see what the problem is with that one. Got to get the message width before I try to set the position. And let's just set the message up above. Come on. Room width divided by 2 minus the message width divided by 2. I think that is correct. I don't know why it's having an issue. Let's just try it this way, see if that corrects it. I know what the problem is. It's that should have been correct, but it is resetting the way the horizontal line is working. Is that? Let's just try this. Doesn't look like it's resetting the horizontal line. It looks like it should always be left, which is making me think, why is it? Why am I setting it twice, basically? Because it's the exact same on all these other ones. Top and left. I think string upper is affecting the X position. And technically, well, yeah, let's do that out of here inside the create. Boom. Cool. Nice. Sweet. Everything is saving on. Sweet. Okay. Got everything is saving to the operator menu correctly. I've got a couple of small pieces to add later on, test grid and button test. But for now I can begin implementing the settings that have been saved throughout the game. So I'm going to make a little bit of progress on that tonight. I'm going to keep moving on this. Alright. So I think what we need to do in order to do this correctly, let me look at this. Get out of the draw. So I think the way that this actually should work is that this should probably be more global, and or only around when the persistent controller is around. So I got to figure out when the persistent controller loads. Off the top of my head I don't remember, so I'm going to go look at the rooms because I think I've just got it in one of these rooms here. Not in the boot screen. Is it in the Blast City Studio screen? There it is. So as soon as Blast City Studio loads, we have the persistent controller. So when the persistent controller loads, if we load these INI settings, loading the INI settings there would make the most sense, because I might not go to the operator menu screen. I might just go straight into the game, and I need the settings if I go straight into the game. In fact, some of the settings I will set immediately, like volume, just the volume one, and I think that would be for sure set in the Blast City Studio screen. Oh yeah. Whoa. And then all these other values can be attached to the persistent object, which is literally around in every other room. And then even the operator menu can read those values and use those values. So I would probably also take out of here these values, and then what would go here would be the controller, the persistent controller property, which would be, the value taken from there, and they would no longer be vars, they would be a property of the main controller. In fact, I would probably set the keys to vars and set everything else to properties, so that a way I can look. So that a way I just save a little bit of memory throughout the game by making these only vars on the create event, and then setting these as properties and letting them be changed in the operator menu. So I think that's how I'm going to do it. Where's my persistent controller? There it is. Man. Aha. Looks like right now I'm trying to load in the volume by default in the boot object, which is really unnecessary technically. I guess I could do a group load for the audio group non-essentials inside of there, but the master gain definitely doesn't need to be there. Alright, so let's begin transporting this. First of all, let's do a git commit because we're in a really good state right now and I don't want to deal with something not being correct or not being able to get back to where I need to be quickly. Oh, I reverted. Man, I'm really surprised by that. That would make sense why one of the bugs came back that I thought was fixed. Okay. Kind of surprised it let me change branches. I probably should have been blocked. It should have probably blocked me from changing branches, but it didn't. Let's search for object controller room op menu. Is that right? What is the name of that controller? Operator menu. Just gotta make sure my recent changes are still here. That's really what I'm interested in. Ooh, that's not good. My goodness. Okay. Since I just switched branches, I want to make sure I still have everything. See my most recent changes, I'll be happy. Yes. Okay, very happy about that. All right. Now, inside of the create, I need to grab basically don't want to get ahead of myself, but let's just try to get some things rolling pretty quick here to do this. All these are gone. I'm going to copy them first. KMaker can be buggy sometimes. Do this right inside of here, and then go. This guy actually didn't need the INI string, didn't mean to leave that in there. I'm okay with leaving these as vars. I do want to set these to properties, so just remove the var so they're no longer local variables. And since we're inside of an object and not a script, they get set to properties on this object. And I can reference them kind of like variables here, but in the other one I have to kind of make sure that the object exists. The object really shouldn't exist unless I'm in the operator menu room. We should be in a good state. The object should always exist. So continuing on here. Yeah, so we just overwrite settings if we find them inside of the op menu settings. And then one other thing is set master volume based on INI settings. Audio master gain, I think it is. And the way audio works in GameMaker is it's a number between 0 and 1. And the way I'm showing the number to the user is between 0 and 100. So I have to multiply whatever that number is times 0.01. So that is op volume val times 0.01. So if it's 86, it should move the decimal over 2 places. Let me just make sure. I mean, I'm no math genius here, but let's just make sure before I guess. Yep, cool. Math. Set master volume based on INI settings. There we go. Yep. Alright, let's see if that works. I mean, we'll be able to tell if that setting works immediately. That'll be cool. That also means I can remove everything from here and have a reference to object controller persistent, which then will get pulled in hopefully appropriately here, and allow everything to still work on the operator menu. That would be tight. Oh, thought we were good, but we aren't. So it doesn't like my reference. I thought I could do that. Let's see. Not to worry though. We'll just reference the object directly, because that still literally should be on there. Object controller persistent. Ah, I see what's happening. It's having a problem with OP free play. That's the piece that doesn't exist. That should be also on PC reference, and I will remove the var values. So that they're no longer local, but now they are properties of controller persistent. So that should work. Yes. Set it to 100. Save and exit. See if my settings are still there when I get back. And they are. Set this to almost 0. Works. Works. Okay, and the last thing you'll probably want to do is to simply make sure that the values that you get out of the INI file are exactly what you expect, so that if something is out of bounds, you correct it. And we're kind of doing that here, but not exactly. Maybe some scenarios where somebody goes in and edits that file, and you wouldn't want to have unexpected behavior in your game if there were some unexpected values. So you would definitely want to reset the values if something was awry, and in that way you also protect your game in some certain ways as well. Trying to open Trello so we can add that. Okay. Apply settings throughout game. Also validate settings from INI file. Now technically we should have that all buttoned up so that all the data that gets saved in the executable itself is encrypted, and that any data that gets saved on the machine is also encrypted. Any data that gets saved in those directories gets encrypted is probably a better way to say it. But we should still validate our data when we get it. And so I'm debating how we should do that. And off the top of my head, I'm not like running to do that right now. What I'm really wanting to do is finish making sure all these updates are applied throughout the game. So I think that's going to be my main focus, and then I'll come back a little bit later and make sure that the values, so make sure that we don't have unexpected values. Oh, man. Free play, free play. Okay, so let's just start at the top on these. OP free play val. That's going to be right inside of the menu. And so we'll just look for the, let's take the operator menu out of here for now. Yes, save all changes there. Boot is gone. Persistent controller is fine to leave open because we're going to need to reference values. Let's just keep this off to the side. Come on. Okay, so now we're in menu, and okay, global.seconds, I'm surprised I've got set right here. Seems a little bit odd to me. But I'm not going to deal with that right now. Persistent controller reference. Thumbs up. Step. global.credits less than or equal to 0, press start. This will be less than or equal to 0 and pcref.freeplay. It's actually op free play val is equal to off. if op, the operator menu free play value is equal to off, then make sure they're going to insert a coin. Otherwise, have them press start. And I think inside of the step, script room step, let me look at this. Okay. Not a problem. Okay, so we got a couple things that we need to make sure. Okay, so free play on or off. Man, I wish there was a way to like make this its own card. Ah, yeah, you can. Convert to card. Where'd that go? Update for insert coin versus press start on menu. Update for game over, insert coin. Update for press start on menu. Just start the game if free play is on and no coins. Alright. So those are the three things we need to do. I already did this. Credits is greater than 0, or PC, no, or I'm in controller persistent. OP free play val is equal to on. I think that might get it. Here we go, script insert coin. Yeah, I guess we'll just let them do that. We also need to check this. Actually, we don't. Okay, so I think we're good there. There's a lot of extra code in here that is no longer necessary. Okay, and still not sure if that's 100% correct. Right there, we'll verify it. And then when the actual press start occurs, yeah, here we go. Or boom. Okay, let's go look at it. Okay, so free play is off currently. Let's verify everything occurs the way we think it should. 0 credits, insert coin. Should go to attract mode for sure. Press start comes up, that's perfect. I think there is something in the room that I still have to update though. Room, attract mode, step. less than or equal to 0 and the value is equal to off, otherwise press start automatically. Doing good, doing good. Okay, let's verify this. Again, we will make sure that free play is off, and then make sure everything behaves as expected. So free play is off. Okay, so since free play is off, we see insert coin down here. When it goes to attract mode, it should also say insert coin. And we got a problem. I think I see what the problem is. Oh, I put I, so give me a second to update that. Where are we? Must have done that in... That happened right when we went to attract mode. So I was looking in the wrong object. There it is.
Skycurser. Death at dusk. Go. Continue. Game over. Skycurser. Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go.
Very, 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 very good. Okay. Make sure Trello. Update for game over. Got it. Update for press start on menu. Just start the game if free play is on and no coins. Good. I think we're good there. Lives per credit. Now I know there's an update to Skycurser right now. Lives are not represented in number, they are represented in icon. But we'll leave that alone for now. And just make sure lives per credit is updated based on that. I think that's just going to be set in the persistent controller. And maybe even in reset game. Global.lives left. Let's see where that gets set. Lives per credit value. Perfect. Set level vars. Lives per credit value. I don't know why I'm setting lives left. I guess I say if it's less than or equal to 0. So that should do it right there. Let's see what we got. Right now we have 15 lives per credit. Let's see if that's the case. Okay, so we had an issue probably in how we're referencing it inside of there's no reference to it inside of script set level vars. It being the persistent controller. So So I need to see what calls script set level vars. I think it's just the persistent controller itself, which it the room controller object. What calls this? Persistent controller, base controller room. If we set it on base controller room, every room would have access to it. Get out of here. Not sure how great of an idea that is. Shouldn't kill us. Passing argument 0 into set level vars. Which is totally fine. And we're only still in the init, which is what the main thing I was trying to make sure of. Object controller persistent. Boom. So in every room now we have access to PC ref, and the error we got was it in script set level vars? Yes, it was. So there we go. Sweet. Done. Alright. Coins per play. Right now I don't think I have this instantiated or written into the script, written into the game anywhere. So right now I've basically got it set to only 1/4. Volume is done, by the way, so let's check that off. Blood, honor, yes, of course, that's done. So coins per play and coins per continue. Those are going to have to be updated in the same places as lives per credit. Or free play on or off, sorry. So yeah, it's probably fine to do it this way here because it gets called from 3 different locations. so I'm totally fine with this. So pressing start in any of those locations, got to make sure you have more than the minimum value. I think we do the same search, pull up those objects. Don't need to worry about Blast City Studio, but we do need to worry about the draw event here. So that is inside the menu. Now we also need to update attract mode. And I'm thinking same thing inside of the draw event. There it is. Now technically I have duplicate code here, so I should be like abstracting this, but I haven't done that yet. So we're just going to keep moving on this for now. So let's go look at that setting. That may be the only place I need to update it. Look at my thoughts here. Okay, so the game over insert coin would be based on the coins per continue, so that would be really easy update. Let's see if we got this. Okay, so we see you have to have 10 coins per play, and we're just testing. Let's bring it down to something like 7. Free play is on. Let's turn free play off. So that behavior was a little bit wrong. So that was attract mode, I think. Let's verify. No, it wasn't. Try this again. Hit play. Okay, and then I guess I need to update one more piece to that, which is press start. Greater than or equal to. Got it. Okay. Let this go to attract mode. We'll do the same test. I'll basically put 6 coins in and then make the 7th while I'm in attract mode.
Skycurser.
I'm thinking the credit incrementer here may need to be just a little bit more complex than it currently is. And that will be based on whether or not the user is continuing or is starting. I gotta see what calls this. I think it's gonna be in the persistent controller, but I gotta make sure. Yeah. So the good thing about this is we can set a variable on this guy, pass it in, refer to it in the script, and then determine if if the player is dead or not, if the player is starting the game or continuing. So I think that anytime they enter the game after they have started, it would increment based on continue. So I need a variable here. I need a coin counter. And on script insert coin, we will increment this value. Where are we? So we're going to pass in self here. That means over here we've got I need one more property here, which will be Cool. So let's turn this down to 5. Let's turn this down to 2.
Skycurser.
Okay. That did not work. There's a problem here. Ah. Psh. Hmm. Hello. Hmm. Hmm. coins per play, coins per continue, finish those. That leaves one more piece, which is attract mode, sound, on or off. And that means I need to re-record the video that I'm using. And maybe even mute the music while I'm recording so that the sounds of the game play underneath the sound of the video plays underneath the current game. You know, the level, the music for the entire level. And then if we turn everything off, there's one thing I wanted to check. Video volume set and get might be part of the problem right now with this. So let's go look at Okay, I think I'm going to call it right there for the evening, guys. It's been a long evening. Been streaming for almost 4 hours straight. Got a lot done tonight. We saved the operator menu settings over to INI files as planned. All the settings are being saved properly. All the settings are being extracted properly and put back on the screen, basically loading in as defaults properly. Those are all basically persistent now, so they persist throughout the application, so I can access those variables as necessary and modify the game based on those variables as necessary. I've got a couple more to update: attract mode, sound, test grid, button test, and then I'll be finished applying settings, and I may end up validating settings from the INI file just to make sure somebody doesn't change the settings and we get some unexpected value. At that point, I'll be done with this. I'm basically almost done now, but after we finished saving the settings to the INI files, guys, we then went and properly modified most of the game to update. So we're in a really good spot with this. Just a little bit more work on the operator screen and we will be set. So but that's it for me, guys. Thanks a lot. I'm going to forego the usual intro outro video this evening, and hope to see you guys again soon. Talk to you later.